That's not what it's called. Sup. Sub 88 rinse. Let's wait for it to fill up. Fill it up. Oh, neat. Chat is working indeed. Oh, yeah. You're very welcome, Noah. Sup, Clinton. Thursday. Yeah, so let's see here. Okay. Do I play any instruments? I play the Turkish drum sometimes. Normalize or not to normalize? It really depends on what you're doing. Yeah. Usually you don't. Everything's squished to hell anyway. You'd only normalize if you have highly dynamic material. I've done tutorials on Serum. I have an entire playlist on Serum. Final master bounce. No, don't do that. Dads normalize. Serum or Silent? Probably Serum. Ableton Live 9 or Bitwig 2? These are really interesting questions. I don't know, I haven't tried Bitwig 2 yet, but, Ableton's still the king for some reason. How to monetize production work. You just click that little monetize. Okay. That's a very loaded question. You can release it on labels. You can get licensing for it. You can send it to DJs. You can join something like SoCan. You can do a bunch of stuff. Desert Island plugins. Heard of them, haven't had a chance to take a look at them. Oh, okay. Desert Island. I thought that was, oh my god, my brain. I thought that was the company. Desert Island plugins. Jeez, where do I start?
Did I ruin it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just live right now. I'm just like, whoa.
You're live?
Yeah.
God, can I be on the internet too?
If you want to.
No, I don't.
Okay. Jeez. Top 5. I would say. What about bundles? Yeah, probably Serum. One of the SSL compressors. One of the SSL emulations, LFO tool, massive, H delay, and Saturn. Am I still on 32-bit Ableton? Yes. Are things better? Depends on what you're doing. You don't tend to run out of memory on 64-bit. Yeah, Vengeance. Prefer dB of headroom 0.1. No, I go about 3. Negative 3 dB. Neutron or ozone? Are they like similar? Neutron's more like per channel. Ozone is mastering. 4 gigabytes RAM, not quite. That's theoretical. They ideally only uses 2 gigabytes of RAM. It gives you a warning when it approaches 2 gigabytes. That whole floating point mess. The operating system uses 4 gigabytes of RAM though. And on a 32-bit operating system, I believe you can't have a file larger than 4 gigabytes. Have I tried SynthMaster 1? No. Your final thoughts on Tone 2 Icarus? Intrusive copy protection. They've done some things that that were very, I don't know, like Edward Snowden would write about it. What they would do is they search your computer for other plugins that have been known to be carrying a signature that leads the program to think that it's been cracked. And what it does is if it detects that, for some reason it deems to shut down your computer, just shuts it down after you close it for some reason. Yeah, and it's just something that I don't want to really support. But hey, they're entitled to do whatever, and plus it's just plastic sounding. It's nothing special in my opinion. The Tone 2 stuff. Yeah, that pissed a lot of people off, myself included. Favorite producers right now? Oh God. Who was I listening to? I can say like my favorite track, which would be To Play Us Out by Deadmau5. It's a remix he did quite a while ago. I don't know, just popped into my head. Yeah. Favorite producer? No idea. Do I like Hybrid 3? I haven't checked it out. I'm boring, I know. My Air Music. Thoughts on Reason? It's for a different workflow. For a more traditional hardware kind of workflow. It was really, it's still something special. It has its niche kind of market. Will I be doing any more hardcore tracks? Perhaps, yeah. I'm not too great at them, but it's a genre that I used to like listening to back in the day. No, I guess I still like listening to them. That has been... Thoughts on what has become of house music recently? The wave of big room. The wave of big room. Big room has been going on for like 4 years now. I think it's on its way out. Rocket 6's bass is non-existent. That could play some music and then walk around your room. Go like towards the wall and like listen around, and if the bass kind of appears in certain areas of your room, then you need to treat your room. Well, it depends on what kind of bass you're looking for, like sub bass, like below 40 hertz kind of thing. That might be something that they can't produce. Yeah. Use the ASIO for All driver if you don't have a sound card or like an interface. I would say that. Also use Windows 10. Probably the most superior audio operating system. Yep. Music production related ear pain after long hours. Are you using headphones? If you are, don't. If you're mixing or making music loud, do not. It shouldn't be loud. Differences between VST2 and VST3. I think it's VST3 supports undo from the host. I could be wrong. And VST has more. It has like multi-audio in and out, and MIDI in and out. It's like a little bit more robust. Not supported in a lot of hosts yet. Make sure samples don't peak above -6 dB with headphones. That doesn't mean anything. It's the SPL from your amplifier. With headphones, your shit's shooting into your head. You know what I mean? It's not good because naturally things hit your ear and they're kind of filtered in gently, you know. But with like earbuds especially, like the sound is just jammed into your ear without it being like attenuated. And that can cause some damage. Marco, any interface, modern interface will work. I use a Focusrite. They're pretty solid, so if that means anything. M Audio, M Track Plus. Haven't used that. Yeah, sound card, that's not quite accurate. The sound cards aren't becoming outdated or obsolete. Sound cards, interfaces have multi in and out support, SPDIF, have MIDI in and out. You have direct monitoring. They're not quite on the way out. The Deadmau5 Masterclass, I was expecting a little bit more. It's kind of like a brief overview of everything. I don't want to be the dick that says it, but it's not worth the $70. Ableton Push worth getting? The first generation, definitely. If you can find that, if you can buy that off someone, get it used or whatever. Yes, this is indeed an AT 2020. What is the next minimal track build due? Soon. Why does nobody use Sonar? I don't know. $90 Canadian. Yeah, not. If you watch his streams or watch me, you can get the same amount out of it. He briefly touches on marketing and stuff like that, and I don't know. It's just Deadmau5 blowing his own trumpet. Your words, not mine. But no, I'm sure. I'm sure some people will find it useful. You're very welcome, Marco. Do I listen to any Brazilian producer? There is one. There is one for sure. He's a techno guy. Oh man, what is his name? Yeah. I used to be on a few, well, I'm still on a few Brazilian records. On a few Brazilian labels, I should say. What is his name? Bonus points for whoever figures out his name. I have here. What's his name? I have him on my Facebook. Webha. Yes. Webha's pretty good. He's cool. Did I check out the Hans Zimmer masterclass? No, not yet. I've been really busy. We're going on a little tour soon. Get a 1080p look at his modular system, though. I'm not into modular systems. They never were my thing. Do sound cards reduce CPU load in some way? No. You're not worrying about CPU load. You're worrying about, a bunch of stuff like, modern sound cards on motherboards are pretty good, but they are 1/8 inch. They're not balanced. They have a little bit of hum. They're just not kind of suitable. They're like the 5.1 with SPDIF or whatever. They're not quite useful for modern. Well, I guess, I don't know. But if you have, something outboard, you can like plug stuff into it. You don't have to worry about any sort of hum. If it's FireWire, then it's directly connected via a PCI lane to the CPU. It's and the drivers are pretty rock solid. I don't know. It should be easier to explain, but yeah. I don't think they reduce CPU per se, but they kind of allocate resources so you don't have to worry about clicks and pops and stuff like that. Plus, like, motherboard sound cards it's something to do with the dynamic range that it can handle. Yeah. The mic for recording vocals. I'm using a NT1A. It's pretty good. Tips about hip-hop melodies. No idea. I can't help you with that. Here's an interesting one. EQ before the compressor, or the other way around. If you have an EQ after a compressor, then you don't really have to worry much. But if you have an EQ before the compressor, things that you are EQing will basically affect the compressor. So like, an EQ after the compressor, the compressor doesn't really affect the EQ, and it's kind of, you should do either or depending on, what you're getting at. Yeah, but there's no like hard and fast rule as far as I know. But don't take it from me. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch more FabFilter VST tutorials as well. Have I ever used Omnisphere? Yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good as a synth too. Has really nice filters on it. But you know, like it's always been kind of clunky, if you know what I mean. It's kind of not quite responsive as much as I'd like. Yeah. I never finishing because I'm never satisfied with any of my tracks. I think that happens to a lot of people. Would I date Lindsay Lohan? I don't know. I don't know her. Are you a fan of Jay and Silent Bob? I'm a fan of Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith, I guess, if that's what you're asking. Opinion on studio monitors. There's, where do you even start with that? There's so many. You just kind of have to think about it as there's different tiers of prices. There's the $100 to $250 monitors, $250 to $500, that bracket. $500 to $1,000 is another bracket. $1,000 to $2,000 is a bracket, and then as you go up, as you get into like the huge Genelecs and stuff, there's all that. Just find a price bracket that you're willing to spend, and find the best. Just find the best monitors you can buy. Just look at reviews, look at their frequency response, their warranty within wherever your bracket sits, wherever your budget bracket sits. And there's good speakers in each bracket. So yeah, I would recommend, I would get them from a music store. Music stores are pretty good. They have return policies anytime within 30 days for any reason. If you don't like them, just buy some, give them a try. If you don't like it, bring them back, and then get another pair from your price bracket. I've done that before. I got the here. Let me just get comfortable. I got the what are they? The big KRK rockets, the 10S's. I got those, and I used them for a while, and I didn't like them, and I brought them back. And then I got my Atoms, and I like those. So, yeah, it's very subjective. Like, some people love KRKs, myself included, but some people don't. So, yeah. But I'm fortunate to have a pair of KRKs and my Atoms, so I have, best of both worlds. Yeah. Anyway, oh my god. RP6 or RP5, not quite a difference. I would go for psytrance music. Oh boy. Me personally, I go the biggest I can get. But I would go a 6. If you're between the 5 and the 6 will add a little bit of low end. Which Atoms do I have? The 7s. The whatever they are. I thought, what are they called? A7X. Do you ever smoke weed? I'm on a bit of a weed hiatus right now, but thanks for asking. Best drum bus compressor, glute compressor. I think you just answered your own question. But, yeah, anything kind of SSL. There's one... Oh, I wish I had. It's a bus compressor by a certain company. It's green. I forget what it's called. I wish I had it open. Yeah. If you have EQ8 in Ableton and a parametric EQ in FL, why go FabFilter? You don't have to. FabFilter has variable cutoff slopes. I don't know about FL, but Ableton only has 24 and 48 high pass. The FabFilter EQ is pretty darn good. Sub Zen World. Serum or VPS Avenger? Serum currently. because Serum supports 32 and 64-bit. Avengers 64-bit only, but Avengers pretty good. It's kind of pushing me in the direction to finally update Ableton. Voguing. Someone was on Twitter yesterday. Exactly. Cytomic, yes. The Glue, probably one of the better SSL clones, if you want to call it that. What does trance music mean to me? Oh yeah, that's a tricky question. What does it mean? I like the old techno trance pre 2002. And then like the period of time where like trance was really dark around like 2005, 6 and 7. Favorite YouTube channels. I don't really watch YouTube channels. Okay, well I live in a place where the internet's pretty shit, so like I'm not really able to watch a whole lot of video because the internet is allocated to doing other things. But I'm on KVR and like subreddits and stuff like that. Favorite techno producer and favorite techno DJ. The techno producer would be Richie Houghton. DJ would be Carl Cox. Before it became hardstyle. No, before it became, I guess you called it Trouse. And then it kind of slowed down a little bit. And then like, yeah. It's kind of like, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember the good old days where, like, because I kind of started, I took it kind of seriously in like 2006 and 7. And the whole thing was, if you want to be a producer, you have to get a Mac. You have to get Logic. It's just, there's no other way. And then now it's like so completely different. Like these sentiments are gone, which is pretty good. And there's like that whole, I guess it's still kind of around, like the Armin van Buuren worship. I never really got or liked. It's like he was like God's gift to music, and like he's still kind of like that, but yeah, I don't know. And then Tiesto went, sneakers and, like you're 50. Like, why are you dressing like a 23-year-old? Seriously. Whatever. Do I like the Chainsmokers? I only know one song. I like the Botneck remix of Selfie. I don't know. I think they're making pop or whatever. I'm not really into that. Okay, 3 island plugins you couldn't live without. Serum, because of its robustness. Oh god. Serum is definitely at the top of the list. Probably the SSL. Okay, so what I'm thinking is like, do I still get Ableton? Do I get like all the Ableton? Because if I can be on a desert island with Ableton Live Suite, then I already have the glue compressor. And I have all the effects there. Maybe I could I don't think I could live without the L2 or the Pro L. So Serum L2/Pro L and H delay. But I don't know, is H delay one of those things? I could probably use Ableton and modulate and make it sound like H delay. Set up a cool little chain. Yeah, 3. I need one more. Maybe. Yeah, that's a tricky one. But yeah, Serum's definitely at the top of the list. L2, and I guess I'll just go Pro L just for the sake of everything. Your voice triggers me to open up Ableton. Oh yeah, so it's like Pavlov's video. Got any hardware synths for sale? No. I'm not selling any hardware. Yeah. Yeah, the days of like Sasha and Dickweed and like, like Paul Van Dyke, like the older Paul Van Dyke, and then like when Tiesto was doing In Search of the Sunrise, or whatever, the compilations that he had, those were great. We got an H delay lover in here. What are we gonna do about him? Have I heard of the F-Series budget speakers of Adam? No, I have not. You want to buy keyboards, and I know some basic, but I want to learn more. The Complete Control S49. That might be, I don't know. Why don't you give one of those Akai keyboards a try? Like if you just want a keyboard. But if you already have Complete, maybe the Complete Control keyboards will be good. I don't know. It really depends. On average time scale, start to finish, it could be 2 hours, it could be a day. How do I make music now versus when you first started? I just have... When I first started, I would experiment with a technique or something and make something good and then build the track around that. And then now I'm just kind of applying all kind of techniques and not necessarily trying to learn more or trying to like doodle with an idea. So yeah, maybe that's something I need to change. You don't get your way around sidechaining in Ableton. It's just picture the compressor. The signal goes in from the left through it, and it's compressed, it's attenuated, and then it comes out. Sidechain is when the detection is detecting another track, which is affecting the compression, and then it comes out. It's like, think of it as like side routing or something. But if you just watch videos over and over again, you'll get it. The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones. I haven't watched any. I definitely have not watched a single moment of Game of Thrones. The Walking Dead, I lost interest because they're fucking stupid. It's like, why don't you just stay put and not kill each other? Still think the virus is worth getting. Yeah, it's good. Say, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Today, I'm going to stream and hang out with everyone. And I might even Vogue a little bit later. A while ago, you used your virus a lot. Lately, you don't. Is there any reason for that? That is because T-Nile has stolen my virus, and she is using it for her own reasons. I'm letting her borrow it. So, yeah, that's why you're not seeing me with it. I still have the little one, but there's no keys attached to it. Or not a whole lot of tweakability. Competitive voguing, we'll get to that. Native Instruments thoughts. A good company. A major bite in the market share. What else do you want me to say? The Microbrute as my first analog synth. I'm sure it's good. It's better than the Wolf step. The Akai Wolf, Rhythm Wolf. Yeah, it's better than that stuff. Ozone Trash 2 or Fab Filter Saturn. Yeah, that's tricky. They're different things. Trash 2 has a bit more options. Trash can sound really aggressive. Saturn can sound warmer. They're two kind of separate animals. Do you finish any songs? Not lately. I'm really struggling lately with that sort of thing. Side chaining. Call it side squishing. That's funny. Does it matter if you use neutral headphones compared to using headphones that are a little bass boosted? Yeah, headphones. Well, like a lot of consumer electronics. Like you take like, I guess the like little portable stereos, like the stereos with the handles, with the 2 tape decks and the CD thing on top. They all sport bass boost. It's like written on there. It's like your car stereo has bass boost. It's just if you're gonna have headphones that accentuate the low end a little bit, listen to a lot of reference material, and then your ears will get attuned to it, and then you will, you'll be able to compensate for that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Don't watch Fear the Walking Dead. It's a billion times worse. I was not planning on that. Do you have an opinion on where electronic music is heading as a sound? It seems like each new sound, every time I listen, I'm hearing more modulation and effects. I don't know. Where is it heading? It's a train, and you can't stop it, and you just gotta get out of the way. You can get off of it, and then you can get on it. You know what I mean? And that's what some people do. Like, it's happened time and time again. People have been, there's like a hype train that's kind of continuing. I think the latest one is like deep house. No, like wobble house. And the people just kind of glamp onto that, and they wait for the next trend, and they, stay on the train. And then people, they make their entire careers just being, the second seat from the front, copying whatever is new and exciting that the kids want to hear. I'm getting a lot of questions. I think it's related to how far we are pushing music technology, like synths. It's just like there hasn't really been new technology. It's just being more kind of refined. It's like Serum is like, still it's amazing. It's like one of those things, but it's just wavetable synthesis. It's just that's been around since the 90s. Like, it's nothing new. It's just been refined and improved and built upon. So, we're always going to have FM synths, which, to me are kind of difficult to program. But yeah, maybe like the next big thing is going to be an FM synth that is a different way of programming, a different way of doing frequency modulation that's not so much ratios and math. It'll be a new way of going about it, and people will be like, oh my god, and then whole genres of music will birth out of that, and then Britney Spears and Madonna will have those sounds, and then we just start again. Do I ever use Max for Live? No, I haven't. I have not ever used it, really. Oh yeah, I've used Synth 1. It's pretty good. Made by a Japanese guy, I think. Best A/B tracks. Your favorite music from your favorite genre that you're trying to produce. That would be the best A/B. No use having like Conway Twitty, like an old country track, as your A/B, as your comparison. That's not going to work. You broke your DX7. How dare you? No, Madonna. I'm not saying Madonnas. Like, Madonnas should never go away. Madonnas. Like the Madonnas of the world. But, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, Max for Live always kind of chokes Ableton. Has it gotten better? I shouldn't make that assumption. It's probably improved quite a bit. I don't like anything that kind of is slow. I like to click around really fast. How to correct phasing. With a mid-side EQ. Yeah, it really depends. It depends on what the phasing is. Like, if it's two microphones that are phasing, then you just offset one of them a tiny bit. You just move it over. You were cleaning it and tripped on a cable and cracked it in two. You should go to jail for synth abuse. What is this? Best way to mix low end in general. In mono, I think. I don't know. Kick 2, I'm not sure. No, I have used that. Is that like the Nicky Romero one? If it is, that's pretty good. I like the Bazism. It's classic. Also the D16 synths for, techno-y stuff. Synth abuse, you do great in Fallout 4. Oh, I didn't even catch that when I said it. LOL. Yeah. This is pretty fun. I'm glad we get to hang out. Have I ever used shitty gear to get some type of sound? Yeah, it's pretty common. Like, there's a video, and it is from the guy who produced a bunch of Slash records and a bunch of Queen of the Stone Age records. And what they did is they went to not the thrift shop, the pawn shop, and bought a bunch of shitty shit. Bought all of it, and then brought it in and used it and tried to make it sound good. And it does sound good. So, yeah. What I like to do is to use, I try to find ways to use effects in a way where it kind of it breaks the sound, and then try to make it usable. Like, an example would be it's the kind of classic SP 1200 way of doing things, is where it's like this big machine from the late 80s that could only record 10 seconds of music. So what you would do is you would record and sample things really fast, like you play a 33 at a 70 or whatever speed, and then you record that pitched up, and then you'd pitch it down. So if you record something fast, then obviously you get more material in that 10 seconds that you're allowed to, that it has the ability to store. And then you pitch it down, then you get all these artifacts in there. It's called like downsampling, and that's why there's effects like Ableton's Redux, which effectively do the same thing. It'll do a sample rate reduction and do bit reduction. So yeah. Okay, what's going on here? You remind me of... What? I remind you of someone on America's Most Wanted. What about the guy from Unsolved Mysteries? Come on. I'm glad you appreciate Marco. See you later. Starting out, yeah, a dual cassette deck and a Radio Shack mic with some Boss Effects pedals. That's the way you do it. Yeah. Like, for example, like people love the sound of tape machines. Oh, tape machines. Tape machines are actually pretty shitty. You know, and they needed to be cleaned. They have like flutter. I mean, the speed will kind of oscillate. They add a little bit of compression to it, but it adds something that is desirable. What else is there? Yeah, people like vinyl. Oh, vinyl. Yeah, well, vinyl is susceptible to damage. It clicks, it pops, it hisses. It depending on where the needle is, if it's closer to the center, it has less dynamic range. It's not the most ideal. Tape, the dynamic range of cassette tape is abysmal. But for some reason it sounds good. And also, there's a thing that I read or someone told me that I think it was in a Dave Pensato episode, is that kids these days, they prefer the sound of heavily compressed MP3s to the actual thing. Like, they like the heavy compression, the artifacts, and the stuff on the high end. Like, they get sound. This is what they're used to. So it's like, yeah. You love vinyl on a tube receiver, that's fine. But to say that it's better than digital is that we could have an adult beverage and debate that and probably agree to disagree at some point. Is there a reason to record at 96K or above? If you can, it's not a bad idea, but you do need to... Well, no, downsampling you don't need to really worry about. Yeah, if you're recording something important, 24-bit depth, a high sample rate, you're good. Rez did give a shout out on the Reddit AMA. Yeah, we're cool. I'm happy that she's seeing a lot of success. That's pretty freaking awesome. She started watching my tutorials. It was pretty dope. What's my favorite beer? There's a beer that's brewed somewhere around here, and it's chocolate beer. The Let's Remix videos, do you plan on making another one? Yes. Eventually. There's got to be something... Oh, I did one. I did the Deadmau5 one. I'm going to be doing as many as I can. If there's, any good music out that needs to be done. I should be a snooker commentator. My voice is ideal. I want to be a pornographic video director's commentator. It's going in now. ADX Tracks Pro 3. Is that like a Melodyne sort of deal? Yeah, there's a lot you can do with math and these sort of things. But there's still going to be a little bit of artifactiness. Is Daft Punk returning this year? Do you like them? I have no idea if they're returning, but I do like them. They're pretty cool. Yeah. The best sound I ever heard from a home listening device was Black Sabbath on a Telefunken tube stereo. Yeah, maybe you were hearing some harmonic distortion from the needle, the amplifier, all this stuff, The crossover, there could be something going on the crossover in the speaker that causes a bump. A lot of things going on. McPorn Deep House, I'm going to get on that. How to release a remix officially. Get commissioned. I don't know. Start with. I don't know. Like if you have a pretty good body of work, propose yourself to record labels. Start small and then work your way up. Be like, hey, I want a remix, and they might have something for you. That's how I kind of started, because all I could do in the beginning was remixes. Did I watch the Deadmau5 masterclass? Yes, I did. It was okay. But, for me, I didn't get much out of it. There was a few things I got out of it about putting, Pro L on a bass to keep, it consistent as it moves up and down notes. I was like, oh, yeah, that's, I never would have thought of that. But that's kind of, But you could probably learn that on a forum if you dug around for a while. Heard from an audio engineer that the best way to make a sub bass come through is to add a tiny bit of distortion. Ever heard of that? Yeah. What it does is it kind of, the sub bass would be maybe a bit of a sine wave, and with a little bit of distortion you can actually fold it a little bit and make that into a triangle or even a squarish, which adds harmonics, which makes it, doesn't necessarily add, it just gives it harmonics to make our ears think that it's more present than it actually is. Do I think headphones can replace monitor speakers? I don't know. Anything's possible. Andrew Schleps, he told a story about how, he got a rough mix on headphones, and he kind of was just fiddling with it, and you got it sounding how he wanted, and his plan was he wanted to go to his studio and refine it a bit, but he wanted to get in theory 50% there using just headphones. And then he played it, and then he's like, oh, I don't really need to do a whole lot to this there's a lot of things headphones can't replicate, but with a decent set of monitors, common sense, and some signal analyzing, you can go pretty far. Best VST for 909 D16 plugins. Why not use a triangle or a saw for a sub? Yeah, you can, but some kicks are very siney on the low end. So I don't know what this engineer means, But I have heard about using some distortion on the low end. I've also heard of using like clipping before limiting to add a little bit of stuff. Clipping is kind of very aggressive limiting in certain situations, which can, really add to a sound and, boost perceived loudness. What do I think about KRKs? Pretty good. Susceptible to ground loops and hums. And I don't know, like my Atoms, they are pretty solid, partly because they're, well over $1,000 each, but they have, really good kind of shrouding, because I can do all sorts of things on it, and they don't like hum or like make any kind of electrical noise. But the KRKs, if I open up a game, if my graphics card starts to kick in, then I get like a little digitally kind of thing. Like if a cell phone is around them, then it picks up the cell phone signal. It's kind of weird. But yeah, no, they're pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. Have you used Canary, the singing drum plugin? No. Do you know of any way I could hook up guitar pedals to Ableton? You're going to need a sound card that has, the ability to have at least one out and one in. And then, yeah, you have that. Just it's basic send and return. It really depends on if you have a guitar plugin. No, what am I even talking about? It helps if you have a sound card or like an interface that has multi in and out. Do you have a tip for finishing a track when you get stuck? Just wait and just wait a while. Are Ableton plugins decent enough for mastering? Yeah, but there's just some industry standard and specialized plugins that are industry standard and specialized for a reason, like the L2, L3, Pro L, stuff like that. Like Ableton's limiter is pretty good, but there's a lot of things that go on under the hood when limiting that a specialty plugin is needed for. Old KRKs were the best. They really were. Yeah, I still have my old pair. First thing I ever bought. How do I integrate Push 2 and Machine Jam together? No idea. I don't have either of those. I have an old M Audio Delta. Would you gain anything from upgrading? So, in relation to older gear, if it's still kind of supported, there's still, if the drivers still work, if everything still works and you're not getting dropouts, and it works, don't worry about it. Like, modern motherboards that I've seen don't support FireWire. So, but, I got a FireWire chip, and there's, my Focusrite is still supported, it still works well. Not a single dropout since the day I bought it. No hiccups, nothing. All well and good, compared to my Motu, which gave me some problems. But yeah, Yeah, there's that expression. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, but if you're going to upgrade from, say, whatever OS you are to Windows 10, it might not be supported in that new operating system. I know people that are still using Windows XP, and they have their setup. It's clean. It's what they use, and it works. Are you in full remission of depression? Interesting you should ask. I believe I am. I've been pretty good the last year, considering all that has happened. But yeah, no, I'm pretty good. What do you think about analog gear compared to digital synths? Some people think digital VSTs can replace real analogs. What do you think about that? That's tricky because I'm not an analog guy. I like the Virus, for example, because it can sound analog, and then it can go that much farther to exaggerate. It's kind of like it'll accentuate the analog so much that it becomes something else. Like we have, like, what makes an analog piece of equipment sound analog is very well understood. Just like a scene in a 3D program, how the light works is very well understood, but we do not have we don't even have like the distant capability of recreating real light, like gajillions of photons flying around a room in this room right now. But it is understood, right? So we understand how these analog synths work and what makes them analog. And there's really smart people that develop these, and we're just now getting into, we're able to recreate them and emulate them in real time. But there's always, what makes analog in my opinion is not the circuitry, it's the workflow and the ability to take CV out and then plug it into something else and then run it back in and flip it around and do all this sort of stuff. But, we can recreate anything if we throw enough processing power at it. So I would say, yeah, whatever the question was. Yeah, some people think digital VSTs can replace real analogs. Yeah, that is true, in my opinion. Is Ableton good for recording audio in your opinion? Yeah, they all record audio the same. It's all converted by your sound card, ones and zeros. And then there's like, audiophile woo that they try to shovel into your ear. That simply isn't true. It's all the same. Yeah, that's that. It's like, Pro Tools does not sound more analog. They all record ones and zeros the same way from the same interface. Okay, oh my god. Do I say that the Vengeance samples don't need compression, EQ? They definitely don't need compression. They're already pretty processed, i.e. they're pretty loud. But yeah, you need a little bit of EQing. And then you can compress them again, who cares? But not like crazy amounts. Do I use a plugin like Redline Monitor or Virtual Room plugins? I don't know about that, no. When you have two sets of monitors that are, like what I have in like a room, then, you just kind of use those. But the virtual room, I don't know. Because the room can't model when you turn your head like this, right? Should I buy a full version of a DAW? Or bounce tracks between cheap versions for now? Yeah, get like the intro version. Get demos. Get demos of everything. Like FL Studio, it has a great demo. You just can't save. Who cares? You know? Ableton, I think you can only record 4 things or something. Or 8 things. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you're learning, like, don't, like, if you want to learn, like, 3D animation, don't buy, like, the full version of 3ds Max and Maya and all this stuff. And, you know, just, you know, start out with the demos, and even if it nags you, like, you know, get that. Okay. Oh boy. Oops. What time is it there? It is 3:46. I've been streaming for an hour, which is fun. Oh yeah, you can make a track in 4 to 5 hours. Some people work that way. Like, I don't know, I'm not comparing myself to any of these people, but it's like, you know, like if you're a painter, who is the, like, who would say, what? You finished that painting in 2 hours? Oh, it's shit. You have to spend at least a week on a painting, or else it's not good. It's simply not good. Oh, and you can only use these kind of brushes. Right? That's bullshit. It doesn't work that way. That wasn't your question, but it's, you know, that's just something I wanted to say. But yeah, 4 to 5 hours, that's fine. 2 hours, that's also fine. You know, like speed producing. You know, speed running is a thing. Speed producing should be a thing. Ultimate Master Chain, geez. Ultimate Master Chain would be 40 instances in parallel of the sound goodizer, or whatever it's called. A good sound card for someone that's a relatively new producer. I don't know if you were in here before, but there's, you know, price ranges, price brackets for everything. There's, you know, sound cards that are under $200. There's sound cards that are from $200 to $500, $5 to $1,000, and then $1,000 up. So figure out your budget, and then, you know, go to a music store or go online or whatever, and say, like, okay, I'm going to spend this much money. What brand do I want to go with? Which brands, which companies have the best support? Like, which ones have like forums? Which ones answer questions? When was the latest update? Is it compatible with my OS? How many ins and outs does it have? You know what I mean? And then, yeah, again, music stores have, they give you the ability to return things within 30 days. If it's not working for you, then you can return it. Anyway. Ever mess with Reaper? Yes. I've used it to record things just because it's so lightweight and easy. System of a Down, new album 2017. That's something to get excited about. Yeah, the Pro Tools Sheen. It's not. That's not a thing. Like, they're all capable of, you know, like, Logic and GarageBand are the exact same thing. Just one's more limited in terms of, you know. Anyway, we all know. Yeah, there was a company that they were making, well, they make these special cables, special instrument cables, where it's like the cable is wrapped in like a double helix to minimize phase, which doesn't make any fucking sense. And it does all this stuff, and there's like certain metals, and it's like it conditions the audio and makes it sound good. And I was talking to them, and they were gonna send me like a $5,000 cable, and I wanted to compare it with a coat hanger. Okay. What the heck is going on here? Is the audio sync off? Oh yeah, it is. I'm sorry. Here. Testing. Is that better? Yeah, it's, the Mac OS, a very capable operating system that does this every single time. Do I like Alesso? I don't know. The Swedish House Mafia guys? Sure. Oh yeah, then there was like the thing where Logic in particular summed everything together in a certain way that was more analog. It was a lot of like, just hype and woo, audio woo, like Deepak Chopra programmed a DAW. Yeah, no, don't worry about your comp. It's definitely this. Different workflows for composing tend to make DAWs sound different. Yeah, that's true. But the idea that one DAW sounds different by design, like the way like one DAW sounds better subjectively, is not true. They all do the same floating point, whatever. Like, it wasn't Monster Cable. It was a different cable company. Monster Cable, yeah, everyone knows that's bullshit. Yeah, I forget. It was like one of those audiophile. Yeah, and yeah. Do I like metal? Is Korn metal? If so, yeah, probably Korn. I don't know. Like 1999 was a great year for me when I was coming of age. Daft Punk is on record saying that Ableton has warm sounds. Yeah, because, they have a plugin called Analog, which, its name should give it away. I don't know. Like the sounds, yeah. Yeah, of course, certain VSTs sound more analog than others. Like Diva sounds way more analog than Silence One. Massive sounds way more analog than a DX7. Korn is new metal. Alright, fine. I like new metal. Are there any cables that are actually better than others? Unbalanced cables are better than... No. Balanced cables are better than unbalanced. But, yeah, no, the idea that you spend $5,000 on a cable doesn't make it sound better. It might sound better because you spent $5,000 on it. Massive versus serum. When Jesus comes down, that will be the first question that he answers. So do I like Limp Bizkit? I do. They're great. I was a young boy, a young gentleman when they were coming up. And, yeah, I'm a fan. They're great. What's the painting behind you? It is a painting from a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, no, like certain plugins sound different. Like, yeah, I don't even know. I'm not talking about like different plugins sounding subjectively better or more analog or whatever, but like an audio signal, a sine wave rendered out of Logic will be the same sine wave rendered out of GarageBand, same one rendered out of Pro Tools, Ableton. Assuming they all don't use dither, it'll be the same sine wave. It doesn't make it sound different or better or whatever. What are your thoughts on going without a record label deal? A lot of people don't use records anymore. Records are on their way out. Records want like some of your merch, some of your touring proceeds, but then they fund your tour and whatever. But I know a lot of people that are just independent and they do quite well. Is Sadowick my real name? Yes, it is. What's my opinions on using presets or making your own? You can use both. If a preset or a patch works, then use it. Like, you don't have to feel guilty. Are there must-have plugins that I'm going to be frustrated that I want 64-bit instead of 32-bit on my fresh install? Fresh install of your OS? Yeah, get 64... Wait, you don't have a 64-bit OS? Because you can still run 32-bit plugins on your 64-bit OS. It just adds a bunch of zeros to the RAM address or whatever. You can still, yeah. Because with a 64-bit OS, you can use, 32-bit version of Ableton and the 64-bit version of Ableton. Oh, the chat is just going bananas. I'm going to pop it out. Maybe that'll work. What am I? Okay, wait. All I'm saying is those scientific tests don't hold up in the real world. Yeah. I don't know. Ideal home studio setup? I like the one that I have now. It's pretty nice. Do you find it fucked up that you have depression and your last name is Sadwick? Yeah, depression is not just being sad. But yeah, that's a dad joke. I appreciate a good dad joke. When am I appearing on Pensado's Place? I was there, but that wasn't from an episode. I was just hanging out there. I'm not. Yeah, if I go down to LA again, probably not though. I'm not too good. I lack the interpersonal skills to hold a conversation, especially when I'm a little bit starstruck. Yeah, J-Bridge is a little finicky. I heard if you install 64-bit Ableton, you can only use 64-bit plugins. That is true. 32-bit plugins will not function. Yeah, that's true. But that's why you have 64 and 32-bit versions of Ableton running. Can I do track feedback again? Soon. I graduated from Icon Collective and I learned that you could learn the same on your own. Yeah. And that's why I started a YouTube channel. Is that an AT 2020? Yes, it is. What's my setup? Explain? Oh, God. I should actually do a video because the setup is pretty large right now. Yeah, we got like banjos and stuff. No, I appreciate it. Dad jokes are cool. Is Valhalla Room worth it? It's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, someone was saying, what's your Ableton 10 wish list? 32-bit plugin sandboxing. You gotta do it now. Or else America will be sad forever. Yeah. The latest version of J-Bridge works fine. All right. Depression, get in the gym worked for me. All right. There's always the wishful thinking that a simple solution. Then I got muscles and then pussy. Depression gone. I'm happy for you. Best compressor. SSL probably. Most unique compressor. PSP vintage warmer. Opinion on Rez's music. Pretty good. Dark, weird, snaky, snick. I don't think they care about America that much in Germany. We're building a wall. Do I use machine software? Sometimes, yes. Analog versus digital compressors. Analog, expensive. Digital, you pay for one and you get a bunch of them. The only analog compressor I would ever get is a distressor, probably. Don't even answer my question. Well, I'm sorry, I got a lot here. It's hard to read. Cue medication. Did I vote for Trump? Canadians cannot vote in American elections. Do I use Blender? Yes, I do. It's pretty cool. It needs only hard work to get hype of these superstar DJs, or may needs to have money for promotion and all this staff about managers, etc. I think you need a little bit of both, or you gotta be really in there. I don't know. Thinking about Lander, my thoughts about Lander. I'm skeptical. Maybe they emailed me and they're just like, hey, we want to set up a referral thing and you'll get a commission as you send people. It's not like, hey, do you want to try this out and see if we're legit? Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's, how I would do it is I would be like, hey, try this out. And then I'd be like, holy crap, this actually works. You know what I mean? I don't know. Have I ever used Cubase? Once or twice. How does a distressor work? Nobody knows. There's leprechauns inside of it. There might as well be. I don't freaking know. But it's like a compressor, an analog compressor that emulates other analog compressors, that also emulates tape, that has a nuke button that makes things sound like fucking Martin Garrix. Like, it's pretty crazy. Do I think Trudeau is hot? Yeah, sure. Do I reach for push or keyboard first? Keyboard's usually always behind me and to the right. It's too far away. What label am I on? I'm not on one. I kind of sort of have my own, but yeah. How important is monocompatibility? Somewhat important. It's important so you don't get phasing. Only deadmau5 knows how to use a distressor. True, probably. Have I ever been to Europe? No. Yeah, the distressor is like an all-in-one compressor. But you need two of them. Left and right. So, yeah. Any good distressor VST. Not one that sounds convincing. What's my greatest achievement in music? I'm still working on that. I just want to make a big contribution to it. So there you go. Well, Spotify's... Yeah, the music industry's kind of dead. For making music, you gotta, I don't know. Do I smoke weed? No, but I should. I should start up again. Nope, Canada is not in Europe. Do you think the dad of Martin Garrix got money to promote his son? I don't know. His dad can do whatever the fuck he wants. The DJX, we sold that. If you could use one piece of hardware to help with production, what would it be? I don't know. Probably a distressor. Reverbs almost always already have... No. Snares almost already have reverb on them. But they're gated. How do you get rid of pops and clicks at the end of my sounds in Ableton? Do you have snapping on? Or You can right click on the actual clip and go show fades and then fade it out so you don't get that. What mic am I using right now? AT2020. Do I speak French? No. I only know a few things in French. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Brent. I know Zutelo. I know Seat Maison. And I know Piche Chauffé. Behringer's come back in the synth market. There was a market need, and they filled it. So I'm happy for them. That's pretty cool. You seem like an introvert person. Are you? Yes, very much so. Having such personality makes it hard in music business. I'm just myself. You know, like there's a lot of introverted people. But yeah. If I ask nicely, could you please explain the purpose of gate? So basically, think of it as your on-off switch for the sound to go through. And it is only turned on when the sound reaches above a certain point. So when, so if like I'm kind of whispering like this and the threshold is set above that, you won't hear my whispering. But then when I start talking, the gate will open and then the audio will go through. Yeah. What French is that? I don't know. Quebecois French. You hate claps. Snares. Put snares and claps together. Yeah, gate is basically a reverse compressor. You only hear the sound that goes above the limit. You should explain things for me. Can I hire you? Electric guitar VSD, no idea. There's a lot of nuances in electric guitars that, yeah, you can't really create. Like bending and like different ways of strumming. I don't even know. Au revoir. Yeah, I can't speak French. Can I sing? No. I can sing show tunes sometimes. When are new tutorials coming? Very soon. Do I like Matt Lange? Yes. He's a cool dude. He's good people. Matt Lange. Favorite cartoon to watch? Reboot. Do I like Nicholas Jar? Like Nicolas Cage? Is there such thing as bad music? Is there such thing as bad art? How many hours a day do I spend on production? Not that much. It's a busy time. I'm not even anywhere near the studio right now. Do I like Alaska? I've never been there. Do I like Putin? Everyone likes Putin. It's mandatory to like Putin. The Patreon Discord, yeah, really busy. But I'm going to be adding more cool free stuff right now. Am I high right now? No, but I should be. Do I like metal? There's that question again. Is it because of the hair? Be honest with me. you and Putin ever ride bears together? No. It's the hair, isn't it? Get off your cap. Why? I will for $100. At what point along the way to commercialization does art lose its status as art or just become a product? Are commercials art? Anything... Okay, so like, yeah, Swiffer commercial, you look at that, you're like, that's not art. But there's actually like the person, be it a man or a woman, how they use it and sweep it, and how they frame the Swiffer is artistic. How, you know, like I'm looking at a fireplace over there, and how like the guy or girl put the bricks around it is pretty artistic to me. You know, I don't fucking know. I look like kind of Dave Grohl when he was in Nirvana. Yeah. You a hippie? Not that far from the truth. Am I going to make it as a live performer? Am I content with ghost producing and making tutorials? Yeah. I've become one of those guys, which I'm happy. I had my boss offer me $100 to cut my ponytail. Is that a sexual euphemism? What did your boss actually pay you $100 to do? Best CPU to buy at this point for music production? No idea. I'm not in the market for a CPU. You'd have to look at some benchmarks and look at prices and see what kind of, because the CPU, getting a new CPU, you got to do other stuff too, like get a new motherboard, maybe even upgrade your RAM. Like it's, does art lose value if it's mass produced? No. I don't think so. Like are Teslas becoming less impressive looking because they're being mass produced? You're just seeing it more. How do I make a living? I grow my hair and charge people to look at it. I'm a trust fund kid. Let's go with that. That'd be interesting. Oh my god. 32 gigabytes of RAM or 64. Jesus fucking Christ, what kind of music are you making? That's a lot of fucking RAM. They're gonna reboot the Matrix? Are you fucking with me right now? Simple Google search. Let's Google the Matrix right now. What the fuck? Are you fucking shitting out of my fucking thing that I shit out of? No way. They're remaking it. How did this happen? 8 things we want from the Matrix reboot. Like, is there like an actual statement? Okay, well, this actually makes sense. Like, they have the creative ability to do a Matrix remake because I guess Warner Brothers has the rights to it. And also, what the fuck am I talking about? They have the creative ability to remake it because there were several instances of the Matrix before Neo, like the Keanu Reeves Neo. So if they actually remake it, it could be like another iteration. Oh, someone sold something. Only if the Wachowskis are included. I think they're figuring out if they should. I gotta tell you, I'm a little excited. Just a tiny bit. I'm a big fan of the films. Yeah. Okay, so it's from the Hollywood Reporter, which is somewhat legitimate. Yeah, it's in the works. They're getting Michael Jordan to star. It might be one of those things that are kind of put into development hell. Oh, Neo's going to be black. That's cool. And Zach Penn is going to write it. You can't just write a Matrix film. What did he write? What has this guy written? He's written The Karate Kid 2, The Avengers, X-Men. All right. Ben Stiller is starring. That'd be pretty fucking dope. Neo should be an anteater. That'd be awesome. More Tom Cruise. Yeah. Okay, Joel Silver is producing it, I think. He produced the original 3. Yeah. Anyway, something to speculate. What the fuck is going on here? We just learned all together that they're remaking they're trying to figure out if they can remake, or they're working on remaking The Matrix. Like, is it going to be a trilogy or something? Would I upload my consciousness into a computer? Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think MacBooks are not that special in terms of stability these days. But anyway, I have streamed enough, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to go. Hackintosh, never tried that. I'm going to upload my consciousness into this video. Would I do a soundtrack for it? Oh, fuck yeah. You bet your ass I would. I'd do it for fucking free. I do for scale. You bet your sweet, delicious, shitty ass I would. That was a reference to what I said earlier. To what I said. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, MacBooks, yeah, they're portable and fun. Who cares? This guy's actually hilarious. Dude, I'm right in front of you. Don't talk to me like I'm not in the room with you. Okay. I'm gonna go, guys. Take care. See you later. Have a good one. That was fun. And happy days. Bye.